Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mr.Adebanjo. I want to welcome you to this video. In this video we are going to be discussing together the public senior secondary school in Lagos, public senior secondary school in Lagos State, the general mathematics of third term examination question for 2025 is what we are going to be discussing in this video for SS2 students. In our previous video, we have talked about or discussed how we could solve the public senior secondary school Lagos State general mathematics third term examination for 2025 for SS1 students. And in that video, I promise you that I'm going to be solving the questions for SS2 students as well, and that is what I've come to fulfill in this video. And if you have not seen the video I made for SS1 student, please check the playlist of this video. You will surely see the video there where we discuss the solution to public senior secondary school Lagos State, the general mathematics third term examination for 2025 for SS1 students. Then in this video, like I said earlier, we are going to be doing the treating general mathematics question for third term examination 2025 for SS2 student, for the student in the public senior secondary school in Lagos State, Nigeria. And what are we going to be doing in this video? We are going to be solving together the 50 objective questions step by step, and we are going to be picking the right answer for each of the questions from the options provided. And also we are going to be solving the second part of the question, which is the theoretical part of the question step by step. And we have like 12 questions given, and you have to select 10 questions from it. And we are going to be telling you also the topics where each of the questions came from. And also I want you to know that this question for SS2 is a mock examination question for them, and it's a standardized examination questions, so it requires all the understanding, all the knowledge you have gathered so far from SS1 down to SS2. All the topics are going to be tested, and so we are going to be laying our hands on those questions. We are going to be solving them, rubbing minds together on them and how we can solve those questions. And before we get it started, if you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please click the subscribe button on our channel right now. So and subscribe to our channel. And the reason being that whenever we post information on this channel, you'll be the first person to know. And please also, when you come across this video, please share this video on all your social media platforms and the groups that you belong to, because there are students how they will need this resource material to be able to prepare themselves for examination, but they are not yet aware of our platform. But by posting this video, you will help us spread the video and get a student to be aware of our video on our channel. So please share the video, don't keep it yourself all alone. And let's dive into the solution of this question one after the other. Now let's start with the objective part of the question. The first question is from standard form. We are told that if 0.00453 is written in the form of g times 10 raised to the power c, what is the value of c? So g times 10 raised to the power c is a standardized form of this number. We have to standardize it. So 0.0453, we have to write it in standard form. So that means we need to move the decimal point in between the non-zero digits. In between the first non-zero digit here, so which is 4 here and 5. We have to move it into in between 4 and 5. So we are moving it 1, 2, 3. We are moving it 3 times, and because we are moving to the right hand side, it's going to be negative. So that will give us a 4.5 times 10 raised to the power minus 3. And this minus 3 is saying that we are moving the decimal point to the right hand side in 3 times. And if you compare what you are having here with the way they want you to write it, you'll be having that g times 10 raised to power c. So if you look at c, c is same thing as minus 3 here, so which means that your c is going to be minus 3, and that make option B the right answer for question number 1. Question number 2 is from logarithm. You have to find what is the value of bar 3.4132 divided by 2. So the question is from logarithm, and from the logarithm of a number less than 1. So it is the logarithm of number less than 1 that is going to give us bar, because the characteristics of a number of logarithm of number less than 1 always result to bar. So that means you are having bar 3, which is same as minus 3. So bar 3.4132, we are dividing it by 2, and that we cannot do. We cannot divide this by 2 because we cannot do it straight away. That's what I meant, because this bar means minus 2, and 2 cannot divide minus 2 straight away according to the logarithm now. So of course, if you press minus 3.4132 divided by 2, it's going to give you an answer in calculator, but it's not going to give us the answer that is correct. So it's going to process it in different way. So what do you do first? In this case, if you have to divide this by 2, because 2 cannot go in bar 3 straight away, so what will you do? You need to improvise by replacing this bar 3 with 2 numbers. So with 2 numbers, and those 2 numbers, one of them must be bar with bar, and the one with bar must be a factor of 2. 2 must be able to go in it without remainder. So the second number must be a positive number, that when you add that positive number to the number with bar, it's going to give us bar 3. So, and that should give us a bar 4 plus 1. So bar 4 plus 1 will replace bar 3 here. So we'll be having bar 4 plus 1.4132. That what you're having here. So this bar 4 plus 1 is replacing bar 3, because these two can divide by 4 straight away without any remainder. So that's why we are replacing bar 4 plus 1 with this bar 3, because minus 4 plus 1 will give us minus 3 back. So from here now, you can now divide by 2. So 2 can go in bar 4. So 2 in bar 4, that will give us bar 2. So that will give us bar 2. Then plus, you cannot go ahead. 2 in 1 is impossible. So you have 0. And then you had your points. Then 2 in 14, that will give us 7. Then 2 in 1, that is 0. So in 13, that will give us 6, remainder 1. Then bring 1 to the 12, 2 again, that will give us 12 again. 2 in 12 is 6 again. So that means you're having bar 2 plus 0.7066. So bar 2 plus 0 give us bar 2. So you'll be having a bar 2.7066 as your final answer. So that make option B the right answer for question number 2. Question number 3 is from fraction. In this case, we are trying to simplify fraction. We are having 5 whole number 1 over 4 multiplied by 1 over 2 over 3 minus 1 over 2. Of course, we are going to first of all change all the mixed number to improper fraction. So you have 5 times 4 plus 1, that will give us 21 over 4. The same thing with 3 times 1 plus 2, that will give us 5 over 3. From there, from our board mass, we need to deal with the bracket first. So simplify the bracket first. So you are having 5 over 3 minus 1 over 2. You can find the LCM here, which the LCM of 3 and 2 is 6. So you can now, dummy, you'll be having 6, then 3 in 6, that gives us 2. 2 times 5 gives us 10, minus 3 in 6 is 2. 2 times 6 in 2 in 6 is 3. 3 times 1 will give us 3. So from there, 10 minus 3 will give us a 7. So we'll be having 21 over 4 times, which is this bracket. Bracket means times, so we have times 7 over 6. From there, what can we do? 3 can go in 3 and 6, that give us a 2. 3 can go in 21, that give us a 7. So we have a 7 times 7, that give us 49. Then 4 times 3, 4 times 2 give us a 8. So we have a 49 over 8 there. And if you reduce that to a mixed number, that should give us a 6 whole number 1 over 8. And that make option D the right answer for question number 3. Question number 4 is from logarithm. We are having log 81 base x is equals to 4. We have to find the value of x. So the question is from logarithm, and log 81 base x equals to 4. It means that we can raise x to the power of 4 to get 81. So x raised to the power of 4 will give us 81. That's the interpretation of logarithm. Logarithm of 81 base x equals to 4 means that I can raise x raised to the power of 4 to give me 81. So that means you are back to indices now. So we are having 8 raised to the power of 4 equals to 81. So that we can change this 81 to an index form also, and it will have power of 4. So that will give us a 3 raised to the power of 4. So the power can take care of power. So we have s equals to 3. Sorry, that is wrong. S is equals to 3, not s equals to 4. So the power will take care of power. So we have s is equals to 3. So that's a typographical error there. So option C is the right answer for question number 4. Question number 5 is from a percentage error. Ade recorded 100 meters instead of 200 meters in a chemistry practical class. What is the percentage error in his estimate? So like I said, the question is from percentage error, and before you can find percentage error, you need to find error first. You need to find error, and error will be 200, which is what he measured minus what the actual value minus what he recorded. So 200 minus 100, that give us 100 as the error. Then we'll now put this one into percentage. That should be error divided by actual value multiplied by 100. So we'll be having error over actual value multiplied by 100 to be able to find the percentage error. So error is 100. You have 100 over 200 times 100. So if you change that correctly, you will be having this 100 can go in 200. That will give us a 2. Then 100 divided by 2, that will give us 50. So that gives us a 50% as the error in he made, which make option C the right answer for question number 5. Question number 6 is from the sequence. Yes, from sequence, but this one is not from arithmetic progression or geometric progression. It's another kind of sequence. We have to write the next two terms of the sequence: 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, dash, dash. So you have to fill in these two gaps that we are having here. And if you look at the sequence very well, we are having 0, 1, 4, 9, 16. If you look at it critically, the difference between 0 and 1 is 1. The difference between 4 and 1 is 3. The difference between 9 and 4 is 5. So we are having 1, we are having 3, we are having 5. The difference between 6 and 9 is 7. You can see that the difference between each of the two successive terms is odd number. So the difference between each two terms is odd number. So 1, 3, 5, 7. So that means the next one, you find the difference between 16 and 9 is going to give us 16 and 9. That will give us 7. So you now add that 7 to 16. That will give us 20. What am I saying? The difference between 0 and 1 is 1. The difference between 4 and 1 is 3. The difference between 7 and 9, 9 and 4 is 5. So that, okay, this how it is done. The difference between 1 and 0 is 1. So that you add that 1 to the 0, that gives us this 1. Then the difference between 4 and 1 is 3. You add 3 to 1, that gives us this 4. Then the difference between 9 and 4 is 5. You add the 5 to this 4, that gives us 9. Then the difference between 16 and 9 is 7. And you now add that 7 to this 16, that gives us so what am I saying? The difference between the next odd number, the next odd number after 7 is 9. So we are having the odd numbers is the difference between each of the two terms. So 1, 3, 5, 7. The next odd number is 9. So you had the next odd number, which is 9 to this 16. That will give us 25. Then after the 9, the next odd number is 11. So you had 11 to 25, and that should give us 36. So that means the next two terms will be 25 and 36, which is option A. Question number 7 is from AP, which is sequence and series. You are told that 6, P, and 14 are consecutive terms of an AP. Find the value of P. So the first term of the sequence is 6, so that means A will be 6. Then the second term is P. So, and the second term of an AP is A plus D. Then the third term, which is 14, and the third term of an AP is A plus 2D. So A plus 2D is the third term of the AP, which is 14 equals to 14. Then we already know our A, which is 6. If you put your 6 here, you'll be having 6 plus 2D equals to 14. Collect like times 2D equals to 14 minus 6. So 2D will be equals to 8 divided by 2. Common difference will be 4. If the common difference is 4, you can use that to find our P in equation 2. So from equation 2, which is where we are to find our P, our A is 6 and our common difference is 4. So we'll be having 6 plus 4, that gives us 10. So that means the value of P, which is the second term, is going to be 10. And that makes option B the right answer for question number 7. Question number 8 is also from sequence and series. In this case, it's from arithmetic progression. Sorry, I said geometric progression rather. Sorry for that. It's from geometric progression because you are going to get sum to infinity of 3 over 4 minus 3 over 40 plus 3 over 400. That. So you have to sum this sequence to infinity. And we need the first term. The first term is 3 over 4. And we need to get the common ratio. Because we are summing to infinity, we need to get the common ratio. That will be second term divided by the first term. So the second term is minus 3 over 40 divided by the first term, which is 3 over 4. Or you could use 3 over 400 divided by minus 3 over 40. So from there, I can change the division to times. So you have R is equal to minus 3 over 40 times 4 over 3. 3 will take care of 3. 4 can go in 40. So you have a minus 1 over 10 as the common ratio. Then to sum to infinity, you have A over 1 over minus 3. So our A is 3 over 4 over 1 minus open bracket minus 1 over 10, which is the common ratio. If you simplify this further, you have 3 over 4 over 1 minus times minus will give us a plus over 1 over 10. And from there, we can add 1 plus 1 over 10 together. That should give us 11 over 10. So we have 3 over 4 over 11 over 10. So if you change this one to multiplication, you have 3 over 4 times, if you inverse this fraction here, you have 10 over 11. From there, nothing can, okay, 2 can go here, 2 can go in 10. That will give us 5, and this one give us 2. You have 3 times 5 is 15, then 2 times 11 is 22. So you have 15 over 22, which make option D the right answer for question number 8. Question number 9 is from the equation in SOD. So equation in the SOD is what you are having here. So you are having the square root of 3a plus 4 equals to 7. So SOD 3a plus 4 equals to 7. So you can multiply, you can take the square of both sides to get rid of this square root. Take the square of both sides to get the square rid of the square root. So if I find the square of this side, I'm going to have 3a plus 4 left. Then you have square of 7, which is 49. So if collect like time, you have 3a equals to 49 minus 4. 3a is equals to 45. Divide both sides by 3. A will be equals to 15. And that make option A the right answer for question number 9. Question number 10 is from the quadratic equation. In this case, we are given the roots of the quadratic equation. You have to find the quadratic equation that the roots are minus 2 over 3 and 7. So there are ways to go about this, but there is a simple way of doing this. So you can use the template of getting the equation of quadratic equation given the roots, and that should be x squared while we having x, because our option the option is in terms of x. So we have x squared minus, open a bracket, then you sum the two roots, sum of the two roots, then multiply by x plus the product of the two roots, which is this time this, equal to 0. So if we substitute that into this template, we have x squared minus, open bracket, minus 2 over 3 plus 7 x plus multiply the two roots, which is minus 2 over 3 times 7 equals to 0. From there, in this bracket, we can find the LCM. So that should be LCM of 3 and 1. That give us 3. So you'll be having minus 2 plus 21 over 3. So you have minus 2 plus 21 over 3 here. If you find the LCM here, you have this into x. Then minus 2 over 3 times 7 will give us minus 14 over 3 equals 0. So minus 2 plus 21 will give us 19. So 19 over 3, then this minus will expand that will give us minus 19 over 3x minus 14 over 3 equals 0. So you can multiply through by 3 to be able to get rid of this denominator. If I multiply this one by 3, you have 3x squared. Then if I multiply this one by 3, 3 will cancel 3, I have minus 19 over x, minus 19x rather. If I multiply this one by 3 also, I have minus 14 is equal to 0. So that is the equation we are looking for. And that make option B the right answer for question number 10. Question number 11 is from word problem leading to equation. Add 40 leading to linear equation. Add 42 to the given number to get square of that number. Find the number. So this is the word problem leading to quadratic equation rather. So we are adding 14 to its positive number. So we don't know the number. Let's say the number is x. So I'll be adding 42 to x. So I have x plus 42. Then to get square of the number, to get what is the number? The number is x. So to get square of that, that will be s squared. So I should be having something like this: 42 plus z equals to s squared. So you can collect like terms now to make it a complete quadratic equation. You have a s squared, bring this 42 and s to this side, you have a minus x minus 42 is equal to 0. So from there now you can now solve this quadratic equation using any method that you know, whether factorization method or elimination method, whatever you. So that's the elimination method, sorry for that. The factorization method or complete square method or formula method. So I know that this can be solved using a factorization method. So what I will do, 2 factors of minus 42 that you can add together to give us a plus minus 1. That should be minus 7 plus 6. So minus 7 plus 6 will give us a minus 1 here. And when you multiply them together, give us minus 42. So that's minus 7 plus 6 will replace the minus x here, and that become minus 7x plus 6x. And from there you can now factorize between this and this. X is common, you have x into x minus 7. And between this and this, if you can factorize 6 plus 6 is common, you have plus 6 into x minus 7 equals 0. So from here to here, bring s plus 6 together, you have a s plus 6, and pick one of the brackets, x minus 7 equals 0. So that means each of them will be equal to 0 also. So s will be equal to minus 6 and x will be equal to 7. So the number we are looking for this is a positive number. So that means our x is going to be 7, which make option C the right answer for question number 11. Question number 12 is from the subject formula. We have to make u subject of the formula. We are having E is equals to m over 2g into v square minus u square. From there we have to make u the subject of the formula. The first thing we can do is to multiply through by 2g to be able to get rid of this 2g. So I'll be having 2g multiplied by e, that give us 2eg equals to, if I multiply this one by 2g, so that 2g will cancel 2g, you have a m into bracket v square minus u square. From here now I can now divide both sides by m. So if I divide both sides by m, I'll be having v square minus u square equals to 2eg over m. Then from there now our aim is to make u subject of the formula. I can collect like times. I can bring this one to this side and then bring this one here. So I'll be having u squared is equals to v square minus 2eg over m. Then from there, to find u, I need to take the square root of both sides. So if I take the square root of both sides, I'll be having u is equals to square root of v square minus 2eg over m. And that makes option D the right answer for question number 12. Question number 13, describe the shaded portion in the diagram. So if you have to describe the shaded portion in the diagram, so that should be, so let's go back, that should be C only. in the option, the diagram, this position that is shaded, that should be element in set C, that is not in A and that is not in B. So, and that should make option A the right answer for question number 13. That is the element in set C only. So then question number 14 is from solid shape, measuration of solid shape. Is for measuration of a solid shape. In this case, you have to calculate the curved surface area of cylindrical tin. Okay, sorry, the curved surface area of a cylindrical tin is 704 centimeters squared. Find the radius of its base. If the radius of the base is 8 centimeters, you have to find the height. Like I said, the question is from measuration of solid shape. In this case, we are measuring cylinder. So the curved surface area of the cylinder is given. And what's the formula for finding curved surface area of a cylinder? That is 2 pi r h. So 2 pi r h is the formula for finding the volume, the curved surface area of a cylinder, and the value is given as 704. So you have 704 equals to 22 times 22 over 7 times, we are giving the radius to be 8. We are looking for the height. So from there, if you multiply 2 times 22 times 8, that gives us 352 over 7 h. You can cross multiply from here. 7 will multiply 704. We have 352h equals to 704 times 7. Then you can now divide both sides by 352 to find your h. So if you multiply 704 times 7, that gives us 4928. Then divide both sides by 352. You have your h to be equal to 4928 divided by 352. And that should give us 14 centimeters, which should make option A the right answer for question number 14. Question number 16 is from inequalities. Is from linear inequalities. We are to write the inequalities line graph for this. So what do we have? We are having this value here is -3, and the arrow is facing this side. So that means you should be having the range of values of x that is greater than and because it is shaded, this circle is shaded, that make the inequalities a weak inequalities. So you are having the range of values of x that is greater than or equals to -3. That's the first part. The rate of values of x that is greater than or equals to -3. That is the first part, because the arrow is going this way. So all the value here, they are greater than -3. Then the second one, you're having 4 here, and the arrow is going this way, and the circle is not shaded. That means a strong inequalities. So the range of values of x that is the value that are here, they are less than 4. So the range of values of x that is less than 4. That is the interpretation of the second one. S is less than 4. Then you can now combine these two to single inequalities like this. So I have S is less than 4. So this can be changed to, if S is greater than or equals to -3, that means -3 is less than or equals to x. Then S is now less than 4. So S is less than 4. So if you combine these together, that gives us -3 is less than or equals to x less than 4. So you have -3 is less than x. -3 is less than or equals to x less than 4. And that make option B the right answer for question number 16. Question number 17 is from the gradient of a curve. That is when you draw the quadratic graph and you have to find the gradient from it. So you have to estimate the gradient of the curve at point Q. So this is the point Q here. You have to find the gradient of this curve. There's a curve here, and they have drawn a line of tangent to a curve, which is this straight line. So they want us to find the gradient at this point Q. So all you need to do is to form a right angle triangle with this tangent that has been drawn. So draw a straight line here, and that has formed a right angle triangle. This tangent with this line that you drew and with this y-axis, that form a right angle for us. So what can we do? At these 2 points, this point here, point Q, and at this point here, that this triangle form touch the line of tangent, then we can locate the coordinate of those 2 points at this point Q and at this point O here. So you can find the coordinate of the 2 points. So the coordinate of Q, that will be 2, -4, while the coordinate of O here is 0, 0. So we can now use that to find the gradient of this of the line at the the gradient of the curve at point Q. So the coordinate of Q here is 2, minus 4, and the coordinate of 0 O here is 0, 0. And don't forget that this straight line is going from the left to the right downward. That means it's going to give us a negative gradient, but this one here is going to give us a positive gradient. But it's going from the left to the right upward, so it's going to give us a negative gradient. So, and if you remember the formula for find, okay, I already wrote here the coordinate of this point O here is 0, 0, and the coordinate of this one is 2, 4, 2, minus 4 rather. Then if you remember the formula for finding gradient, that will be changing y over changing x. But because this line is going to give us a negative gradient, so you need to introduce your negative minus. So your y2 is minus 4, and your y1 is 0. So sorry, your y2 is 0 rather, and your y1 is minus 4. So we'll be having 0 minus open bracket minus 4. Then over your s2 is 2, and your s1 is 0. So your s2 is 2 here, and your s1 is 0. So if you simplify that, I mean you have minus 4 here will give us plus 4 over 2. So you have a 4 over 2, and that gives us there's minus here, that gives us minus 2, and that make option option A the right answer for question number 17. Question number 18 is from inequalities. Also, what is the range of values of L that satisfy this inequality and this inequality? So the first thing to do is to simplify each of the inequalities to the simplest form. Expand this bracket. We have a 3. Okay, I can divide through by 3. I can see that divide this one by 3, divide this by 3. So that gives us a 1 minus x greater than 1. Collect the like times. You have minus x is greater than 0. Because 1 minus 1 gives us 0. So you cannot divide both sides by minus 1. And when you are dividing both sides by negative value, the inequality will change. So we have a s is less than 0 in that case. Then the second one, we have a 3 into 1 plus the x greater than or equal to 0. I can divide through by 3 also. So I'll be having 1 plus the x is greater than or equal to 0. So collect like times, you will be having s is greater than or equal to minus 1. So you have to combine these two inequalities now. And the minus 1 and 0, which one is greater? 0 is greater than minus 1. So I'll be having a minus 1 at this side, and which means that s is greater than or equal to minus 1. That means minus 1 will be less than or equal to x. Then here I'll be having x is less than 0. So that means I have minus 1 is less than or equal to x, then less than 0. And that make option D the right answer for question number 18. Question number 19 is from circle geometry or circle theorem. You have to calculate theta if angle O is if O is the center of the circle. You have to look for angle theta here. So the question is from circle theorem, and the line O, this line here is a radius, and this line here is a tangent to the circle. So if this is a radius and this is a tangent, there's a theorem that says that the radius of a circle is perpendicular to the tangent at the point of contact. So that means the angle here, the whole angle here is 90 degrees. So the whole angle here is 90 degrees. And if the whole angle here is 90 degrees, that means you can find the small angle inside this triangle here. You can find the small angle there. So the whole angle there is 90, like I said, it's a right angle. So that can help us to find the angle that is here by removing 62 from 90. And that will give us 28 degrees. And if this angle is 28 degrees, this is a radius and this is another radius here. So that makes this triangle an isosceles triangle. So the triangle we are having here is an isosceles triangle because this side and this side are radii. So that means this angle is 28. That makes this angle here also 28 degrees because the angle here, they are both base angles of isosceles triangle. So now to get theta, that will be 180 minus 28 minus 28, and sum of angle in a triangle, and that means theta will be 124 degrees, which make option A the right answer for question number 19. Question number 20 is from the number base. It's from number base. We are having 4p4 base 5 is equal to 1 and 19 base 10. You have to find p. So in this case, we are going to convert this base 5 to base 10 to be able to find p. So if I'm to do that, you need to label this value from 0, 1, 2. So once you label it, you now expand it. So 0, 1, then 2 here. Then you can now expand it. So you're having 4 times 5 raised to the power 2 plus p times 5 raised to the power 1 plus 4 times 5 raised to the power 0 equals 119. So 5 squared is 25. Then go and close it. Then 25 times 4 will give us we have a 25 here. Then we have a 5p. We have a 5 raised to the power 0 is 1. You have 4 times 1 equals 119. So 25 times 4 will give us 100. Then 5 times p will give us 5p. Then 4 times 1 will give us 4 equals 119. So 100 plus 4 will give us 104. So will give us 104. Then you have 5p is equals to 119 minus 104, and that should give us 150. Would that give us 15? Then p will be equals to 3 if you divide both sides by 5, and that makes option C the right answer for question number 20. Question 21 is from the midpoint theorem, also from the circle geometry. The first theorem you are going to be taught in circle geometry is midpoint theorem, and a chord of its length 30 cm is 8 cm from the center of the circle. What's the radius of the circle? So if I draw a circle and there is a chord, and the chord is 30 centimeters long, and the distance of this chord from the center is 8 centimeters. So that means if I have a center here, the distance of this chord from the center here, if I draw a straight line here, it said it's 8 centimeters. So we are looking for the radius of the circle. So that means I can draw a straight line which to the circumference here, which is going to form a radius for us. So we are looking for that radius. And what can we do here? We should know that this straight line here is going to divide this chord into 2 equal parts, which is the midpoint theorem. That's where the midpoint theorem comes in. So this line will divide this chord into 2 parts. That means we're having 15 and 15 here. So this will now give us a right angle triangle, and we can now use Pythagoras theorem to find the radius. So using Pythagoras theorem, you have a r square is equal to 15 square plus 8 square. So that will give us r square equal to 225 plus 64, and that should give us 289. Find the square root of both sides. That gives us 17. Option B is the right answer for question 21. Question number 22 is also from the circle geometry. You are told that a BR is a tangent. Line BR is a tangent to the circle at point T. Angle POQ, angle POT is 86 degrees. We have to calculate angle PTR, angle PT and R, which is the angle that is here. Angle PTR, we have to find the angle that is here. Then how can we do that? Now, well, in the second 2 questions that we before now, we solved like a question involving this kind of diagram before now, and I told you that radius is perpendicular to tangent. That means the total angle that will be here will be 90 degrees. So if you can find the angle inside this triangle that is here, then remove it from the whole angle here, which is 90, then that should give us angle PTR. So how can we find this angle inside the circle here? Of course, we know that this triangle is an isosceles triangle because line OT and line OP, they are both radii. So that make this triangle an isosceles. So that we can find this angle here. So if you find that angle there, that will be, you can remove 86 from 180. Whatever we get, we divide it by 2 to give us this angle and this angle here. So I said from triangle TOP is an isosceles because line OT is equal to side OP, they are radii. Then angle OTP, the angle here, and angle OPT, the angle here, they are equal because they are base angles of isosceles. So let's try to find one of the angle. Let's find angle OTP, which is the angle here. That will be 180 minus 86 divided by 2. So that gives us a 47. So if this angle is 47, then if you remove it from 90 degrees, that will give us a PTR. So angle OTR, the whole angle here is 90. Radius is perpendicular to tangent. So to get angle PTR, that will be 90 minus 47. That gives us 43, which make option A the right answer for question number 22. Question number 23 is from the undefined fraction, and that is a SS2 topic. If 2x minus 3 over square plus 3, A will become undefined dash. So that means they are saying if A, there's a typographical error here. So if A is equal to this fraction, what will make this A undefined? And from our idea of undefined fraction, a fraction become undefined when the denominator is equal to 0. So a fraction is undefined when the denominator is equal to 0. So that means you will be having s squared plus 3 equals to 0. That will make it undefined, and that makes option B the right answer for question number 23. Question number 24 is still undefined, still under undefined fraction. What value of y is the expression y plus 2 over y squared minus 3y minus 10 is not defined. So this fraction will not be defined, or will be undefined when the denominator is equal to 0. So that means we'll be having y squared minus 3y minus 10 equals to 0. And this is a quadratic equation that we can solve to get the two roots. So in this case, what are the two factors of minus 10? That when we add, it's going to give us minus 3. And that should be minus 5 plus 2. So minus 5 plus 2. And that will now replace minus 3y here. So we have a y squared minus 5y plus 2y minus 10 is equal to 0. Factorize this, that gives us a y into y minus 5. Factorize 2y minus 10, that gives us a 2 into y minus 5 equals 0. So that means you have y plus 2 into y minus 5 equals to 0. Then you can now find the value of your y at each point here. So y will be equals to minus 2, or y will be equals to 5. And that make option D the right answer for question number 24. Question number 25 is from algebraic fraction. It's from algebraic fraction. We have to simplify this fraction. So what can we see here? Now we can see that b squared minus c squared, this is a difference of 2 square, and you're having b plus c here and b plus c here all squared. So you can factorize b plus c out here. You can factorize b plus c since it is common here and here, and you can now expand this one using a difference of 2 squares. So if I factorize b plus c out here, I will be having b plus c. I will open a bracket. I have a left here, plus I have b plus c again left. So I'll be having b plus c into bracket a plus b plus c over, I said this is the b square minus c square is a difference of 2 squares. So you have b plus c, then b minus c. Then here also I can factorize a from this. So we have a into bracket b minus c. So what can we do from here? This, there's nothing we can do here at the numerator, but denominator we can do something. B minus c is common here. We can factorize b minus c also here. So if you do that, you'll be having b plus c at the top into bracket this minus, over rather. If you factorize b minus c that is common here, you'll be having b minus c into bracket. Here I have a b plus c left, which is b plus c, and here I have plus a left, as you can see. So what can we deduce? A plus b plus c, same thing as b plus c plus a. So this can cancel this. So okay, I'll help you to rearrange it properly so that you can see. So this will cancel this. Then you're left with a b plus c over b minus c. And then that make option C the right answer for question number 25. Question number 26 says is from SOD, and we are told that a recurring decimal is a slash or an a recurring decimal is a or an irrational number, because irrational number will give us a recurring decimal such as pi, such as SOD2, such as SOD3, and so on. So that means irrational number will give us a recurring decimal. So option A is the correct answer. Question number 27. If x is equal to over 3 and y equals to minus 6, you have to evaluate sy minus y over x. So this is a substitution in algebraic fraction. So we're having x minus y, sy minus y over x. Our x is 2 over 3 and our y is minus 6. If you substitute that here, we can if you substitute that here, we will be having 2 over 3 times minus 6, then minus our y is minus 6. You have minus 6 over 2 over 3. So what can we do? 3 can go in minus 6. That'll give us 2 times minus 2 there. Then you have minus 6. This division can be written as divided by 2 over 3. So you have 2 times minus 2. That'll give us minus 4 there. Then we have minus 6. Then you can change this division to times. You have a 3 over 2 by inversing this fraction. So from there, 2 can go in minus 6. That gives us minus 3. So you have a minus 4 minus 3 times 3. So minus 3 times 3, that will give us a minus 9. So minus times minus will give us plus. You have minus 4 plus 9, that gives us a 5, which is option B. Question number 28 is from you have that a casting is made up of copper and zinc. If 65% of the casting is zinc and there are 147 grams of copper, what is the mass of the casting? What is the mass of the casting? So let the mass of the casting be x. So if 65% of the casting is zinc, then we can use that to find the that means that 35% of the casting is copper, because 65% plus 35 will give us 100%. Then you can now use that to find the mass of the casting, since we have already been given the value of the mass of the of the copper rather, for the copper, which is 147 grams. So you can equate that to the percentage of the mass of the whole. So the percentage of the copper from the whole mass of the casting is 35%. So 35% of the whole mass of the casting is 147. So that should give us 35 over 100 times x is equals to 147. So that gives us 35x over 100 equals 147. Cross multiply. 35 equals 147 times 100. Then divide both sides by 35. That will give us 420 grams. So the whole mass of casting is 420 grams, and that makes option B the right answer for question number 28. Question 29 is from the sword. We are given that 2 sword 2 over sword 3 minus sword 2 is equals to 2 sword r plus q. But to find the values of r and q respectively. So like I said, the question is from sword. And if you look at the left hand side, we are having a sword divided by another sword. That means we need to rationalize this sword. But if you rationalize it, you have to multiply up and down by the conjugate of the denominator. What's the conjugate of sword 3 minus sword 2? So the conjugate of sword 3 minus sword 2 is sword 3 plus sword 2. And that will multiply up and down. So that means I should be having 2 sword 2 over sword 3 minus sword 2 times sword 3 plus sword 2 over sword 3 plus sword 2. From there, what can we do? 2 sword 2 will multiply the numerator here, and denominator here will multiply the denominator here, although they are both a difference of 2 squares. So from there, what can we do? 2 sword 2 times sword 3 will give us 2 sword 6, plus 2 sword 2 times sword 2 will give us 4. Sword 2 times sword 2 will give us 2, then 2 times 2 will give us this 4. So over the denominator is a difference of 2 squared, you have a sword 3 squared minus sword 2 squared equals to 2 sword r plus q. You simplify further, sword 3 squared is 3 minus sword 2 squared is also 2. So we'll be having 2 sword 6 plus 4 over 3 plus minus 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. So that means we'll be left with 2 sword 6 plus 4 equals to 2 sword r plus q. So if you compare this side and this side, you can see that 2 is equals to 2. That means r will be equals to this 6 and our q will be equals to 4. So compare both sides. R is 6 and q is 4, and that make option C the right answer for question number 29. Question number 30 is from the indices. We are told that 5 raised to the power n plus 3 over 25 raised to the power 2n minus 3 is equals to 5 raised to the power 0. You have to find the value of n. You have to find the value of n from there. What can we do? We can either cross multiply, although we know that 5 raised to the power 0 is 1. So this will give us 1. Then from there you can cross multiply. So 25 raised to the power 2n minus 3 will multiply 1. That gives us this. So you can now change 25 to an index form. So that it will have the base of 5. And that should give us 5 raised to the power 2. So we have a 5 raised to the power n plus 3 equals to 5 raised to the power 2 into bracket 2n minus 3. If you expand the bracket here, you have 5 raised to the power 2n, 5 raised to the power n plus 3 equals to 2. Expand the bracket, you have 4n minus 6. Then the base can take care of the base. You have n plus 3 equals to 4n minus 6. Collect the like terms. We'll be having n minus 4n equals to minus 6 minus 3. N minus 4n will give us minus 3n equals to minus 9. Divide both sides by minus 3. N will be 3. And that make option C the right answer for question number 30. Question number 31. So it's from polygon. Which of the following is not an exterior angle of a regular polygon? Which of the following is not an exterior angle of a regular polygon? Don't forget that we are talking about each exterior angle of a regular polygon. And if you should know that sum of exterior angle of a regular polygon is 360 degrees. And if you should divide each of this one by 360, anyone that did not give you a whole number, that means is not representing each exterior angle of a regular polygon. So if you try 66, 360 divided by 66, that gives us a decimal number. But each of these, if you divide each of these by 6, if I divide 360 by 72, it will give me a whole number. 360 divided by 24, it will give me a whole number. And 360 divided by 15 is going to give me a whole number. Only this one will not give us a whole number, which means that it's not an exterior angle of a regular polygon, which is option A. Question number 32 is from variation. M varies directly as n and inversely as the square of p. So that is a joint variation. M varies as n and inversely as p square. So you have to make this one, you make it an equation first by introducing a constant. So that gives us m is equals to kn over p square, where k is a constant. So we need to find the value of our k, or what the question says. M is 3 and n is 2 and p is 1. Find m in terms of n and p. So we need to find the value of our k. So by doing, we put your value of your m here, which is 3, equals to our n is 2 times k over our p is 1. So p is 1 square is going to give us 1. From there we'll be having 2k is equals to 3. Divide both sides by 2. K will be equals to 3 over 2. So we have to find our m in terms of n and p. That means you need to return the value of your k here. So you'll be having your m is equals to 3 over 2n over p square. So these two will come down if you understand the fraction very well. So you'll be having 3n over 2p square. 3n over 2p square. And that make option A the right answer for question number 32. Question number 33 is from the inequalities involving two variables. We have to shade the shaded region is defined by dash. So this side that is shaded of these inequalities, what they want you to find. So, and the line has already been defined that it is y minus 2x equals to 2. So they only want to know that this will represent an inequalities, and how this line here is a thick line. That means that the inequality is going to be a weak inequality. It cannot be A and it cannot be B, because the inequalities we are having here, they are both strong. That means their line is supposed to be broken if it were this and this. But because the line is a thick line and this straight line is a thick line, that makes it a weak inequalities. But let's see where this line is shaded is facing. The value of y here that are down here, they are less than the values that are here, they are less than 2. So, and the value that are here, they are less than minus 1 as well. So that make it y minus 2y, y minus 2x. There's a typographical error here. Y minus 2x to be less than or equals to 2. And that makes option D the right answer for question number 33. Question number 35 is from the bearing. We have to express 340 degrees as a compass bearing. So 340 degrees is a 3-digit bearing. They want us to express it as a compass bearing. So what do? Draw a cardinal point and locate the north, south, west, and east. 340 degrees will fall at this quadrant here, this part in the north to the west. It's going to fall here because this 3-digit bearing, the angle is supposed to be drawn from the north to where this angle will fall. It's going to fall here, so I will draw a straight line there. Then I'll locate the angle 340 degrees, which is the angle from the north to this line here. I will label it. So I'm to find this angle. I'm to find this angle in compass bearing, and that means I'm looking for the angle from here to here, because in the compass bearing there is 2 origin, which is north or south. So since I'm looking for this angle here, I'm going to go from the north to the west. And how do I find the remaining angle here? If I remove this 340 from 360, that will give us the angle here to be 20 degrees. So that made this angle, this compass bearing, to be 20 degrees north to the west. So that make option C the right answer for question number 35. Question number 36 is also on a bearing. The bearing of a bird from a hunter is 124 degrees. What is the bearing of the hunter from the bird? So this is a bearing involving 2 locations or 2 points, or 2 quantities. The bearing of a bird from hunter is 124 degrees. So draw a cardinal point to represent the position of the hunter. So I will label that hunter. So the cardinal point will represent the location of the hunter, and we are told that the bearing of the bird from this hunter is 124. So 124 degrees is a 3-digit bearing. That means it's going to fall between this point and this point here, because the angle from here to here is from 90 to 180. So 124 will fall at this point here. So draw a straight line here like this, and the angle from the north is to this line is 124 degrees. Then at this point here, you are going to draw another cardinal point here to represent the bird, where the bird is. To draw where the locate where the bird is. So that means the bird is right here now, and from there we have to find what is the bearing of the hunter, this hunter, from this bird. So the bearing of the hunter from the bird, that's what we are looking for, and that should be the angle from the north to the line that join them together. The bearing of the hunter from the bird will be the angle that is from the north to the line that join them together. So if I mark the angle like this, so you are looking for the angle from the north to this line that join them together. That's the bearing of the hunter from the bird. Then how can we find this angle here? So now what we can do is that we can try to find the remaining angle at this point here. We can find the remaining angle here, because the angle from the north to the south is 180. So that can help us to find this angle by removing 124 from 180. That gives us the 56 degrees. And this angle here, 56 degrees, we have an effect here. So we can find the angle that is here also. The angle is also 56 because the angle is alternate to this angle here. Then if this angle is 56 degrees, then we can now find the angle we are looking for, which is the bearing of our hunter from the bird, by removing 56 from 360 degrees. And the bearing of the hunter from the bird is 360 minus 56. That gives us 304 degrees, which is option C for question number 36. Question number 37 is from coordinate geometry. We have to find the equation of the straight line passing through 1,5 and having a gradient of 3 over 4. So what we can do is that this equation of the straight line we are looking for is a linear equation, and the template of linear equation is y is equal to ms plus c. Your m is the gradient that is given 3/4, and we can find our c, which is the y-intercept. So we can use this coordinate given to find our c. So if I put the gradient given, I'll be having y is equals to 3/4x plus c. Then at point 1,5, given that the line passes through, our y will be 5 and our x is be 1. So we can use that to find our c. So we'll be having 5 is equals to 3/4 times 1 plus c. So that means we'll be having 5 is equals to 3/4 plus c. Collect the like times c will be equal to 5 minus 3/4. Find the LCM here. We'll be having c is equals to 20 minus 3/4. That will give us 17/4. Then if you return this value of c into this equation here, you'll be having y is equals to 3/4x plus 17/4. So we can multiply through by 4 to clear the denominator. So we'll be having a 4y equals to 3x plus 17. And if you rearrange it the way they arrange their options, we'll be having 3 minus 3x will come here, will become 4y comes here minus 4y and plus 17. So you have 3x minus 4y plus 17 equals 0. And that will make option D the right answer for question number 37. Question number 38 is also from bearing. Given that y is 20 meters on a bearing of 300 degrees from a x, how far south of y is x? So like I said, the question is from bearing, and given that y is 20 meters on a bearing of 300 degrees from x, how far south of y is x? So you are given that y is 20 meters on a bearing of this from a point x. So what do? Draw a cardinal point to represent your point x. Then you are told that this point y is 20 meters on the bearing of 300 degrees. So 300 degrees will fall here. So draw a straight line here, and we said the bearing there is 300 degrees. So locate the bearing. Then there is point y. Yeah, so draw a cardinal point to represent point y there, and the distance between them is 20 meters, like you have been told. Then how far south of y is x? How far south of y? This is y here, and this is the south of y. This side is the south of y. How far is this x south of this y? So what you can do is that you can extend this south of y. You can extend it downward like this. Then you can now extend this x, the west of it. You can extend it to meet the west of the south of y. So we are looking for how far west of south of y is this x. So then we are looking for the from here to here, which is the west of the point x. So from there, good. From there, what can we do? This line, this south here and the west here will form a right angle here, and we can find an angle inside this triangle here to be able to find what you are looking for. Then this will form a right angle triangle for us, and we can now find the angle that is here, so that you can use that to find this side we are looking for. And what can we do? How far south of y is x? Sorry, I made a mistake. We are looking for here, not here. We are looking for here. So that's what we are looking for. And we need an angle inside the triangle. So from the north down to this south, so this way, the angle here is 270. If you can remove 270 from 300 degrees, that will give us the left over here, which is the angle inside the triangle. And that should give us 30 degrees. So from there, and since this is a right angle triangle, then that will give, we can use the trigonometric ratio to find the value of our x by using opposite over hypotenuse. So we'll be having sine 30 is equal to x over 20. So if you cross multiply there, we have 20 sine 30 equals to x. So sine 30 is a half. So sine 30 is going to be 1 over 2. So that gives us a 20 times half. And 2 can go in 20, that gives us 10. So that gives us 10 meters. and then that makes option A the right answer for question number 38. Question number 39 is from statistics. If the mean of 1, 3, 5, 7 and x is 4, find x. So you have been given the mean of this 5 data, and they say it's 4. We have to use that to find x. So how do we find the mean of the data? We need to add those data together divided by number of data we have there, and we have 5 data. And they said the mean is 4, so you have 4 is equals to add this number together. That gives us 16 plus x over 5. You can cross multiply from there. That gives us 5 times 4 is 20 equals to 16 plus x. So collect lifetime, you have x equals to 20 minus 16. S will be equals to 4, which should make option B the right answer for question number 39. Question number 40 is also from statistics, in this case variance. So we have to find the variance of this set of data. So to find variance of ungrouped data, we have summation of x minus s bar squared over n. So x is the data given to you, x bar is mean, you need to find the mean of the data, and n is the number of data that we have here. So what do? The first thing to do is to find the mean of those data, which is our x bar. So add those data together divided by number of data. So if you add these data together, we have 50 over 10, that gives us 5. Then to find your x minus s bar, which is called deviation, s minus s bar. So the best thing to do is to tabulate your result. So I'll tabulate my result. So I'll draw a straight line here, and I'll call this one x. So then I will put all the data we have in here. We have 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 7, 7, 9. Then from there, I can now find x minus s bar. So x minus s bar, which is the deviation we have inside the bracket there. So that means we will be removing our x. We will be removing our x from x bar, which is 5. So we have a 2 minus 5, that gives us minus 3. We have a 3 minus 5, that gives us minus 2. 3 minus 5 minus 2. 4 minus 5, that gives us minus 1. 5 minus 5 is 0. 0, 0. 7 minus 5 is 2. 2. Then 9 minus 5 is 4. So that's the deviation. Then we have to now square your deviation. Find the square of that. So you'll be having s minus s bar squared. So if you square minus 3, that gives us 9. Square minus 2, 4. 4, 1, 0, 0, 0. Square 2 is 4. Square of 2 is 4. Then square of 4 is 16. Then I haven't forgotten that you have to find the summation of that. You need to sum this together. So we need to sum all the value here together. And if you do that correctly, you are going to be getting 42. So if you now return it back into the formula for finding variance, so we are having the numerator here is 42 over the n, which is 10. So we have 10 data here for our n. So we'll be having 42 over 10, and that should give us a 4.2, which is option D for question number 40. Question number 41, we have to use this table to answer question number 41, 42, and 43. So the first question, we have to find the median of the distribution. To find the median of this set of data. To find the median, you need to first of all sum the frequency together. So if you sum your frequency together, so then divide it by 2, that gives us the position of the median on the table. Our frequency is represented by a capital letter N. So you have 7 plus 4 plus 18 plus 12 plus 8 plus 11, and that gives us 60 divided by 2, and that should give us a 30th position. So the median is on the 30th position on the table. So what do? Start adding your frequency together until you get 30. So 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 18, that will be 29. Then plus 12, that means 30 will fall here. So 30 will fall at this position. So that means the median will going to be 3. So that means the median is 3. For question number 42, we have to calculate the third quartile of the distribution. The third quartile of the distribution, that's another name for it, is upper quartile. Upper quartile. So the first thing to do is to get the position of the upper quartile. And what is upper quartile? That will be 3 over 4 of the total frequency. So position of the third quartile is 3 over 4 multiplied by total frequency here. And that gives us the position of the upper quartile. So if you simplify that further, that will give us a 3 over 4 times total frequency, which is 60. So 3 times 60 divided by 4 will give us a 45 position. So that will give us a 45 position on the table. So what do? Go to your table and start adding your frequencies together also until you get to 45. So 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 18, 29. Then 29 plus 12, that should give us 41. Then 41 plus 8, that will give us 49. That means 45 will fall here. So it will fall here. That will give us the, that's where our upper quarter is. That means the upper quarter will be 4 in this case. So the upper quarter, which is third quarter, will be 4.0. And that is where option D is the right answer for question number 42. Then for question number 43, we have to find the 48th percentile of the distribution. 48th percentile. Percentile is from the word percentage. 48th percentile. So that will be P40. 40 percentile. That will be P40. So that will be 40 over 100 multiplied by total frequency also. That will give us the position of the 40 percentile. That will be 40 over 100 multiplied by n EH. So if you simplify that, that will give us a 40 over 100 times total frequency here is our n. That will be 60. And if you simplify it, that will give us 24 position. That means the 40 percentile of distribution is at the 24th position. So go to your frequency and start adding it together until you get to 24. And the 24 should fall at this point here. And that makes 2 to be the 40th percentile. So the 40th percentile is 2.0. And that makes option B the right answer for question number 43. Question number 44 is from statistics also. So we are given a class interval of 0 to 5, which have the lower class boundary of that. So we have to find the lower class boundary of this. And so since this number here is a whole number, so that means you are going to be subtracting 0.5 from this lower class interval to get lower class boundary. So if I remove 0.5 from 0, I'm going to get minus 0.5. And that makes option A the right answer for question number 44. Question number 45 is from probability. A fair die is thrown twice. What is the probability of obtaining the sum of score to be at least less than 10? So 2 dice are drawn, so I can draw the chart for us. So draw a chart like this, and this is representing the die. So we have this represent the first die, and this is the second die. So to get all the outcomes, so if I throw the die one after the other, it can show 1 1, it can show 1 2, it can show 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, 1 6, it can show 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, 2 4, 2 5, 2 6, it can show 3 1, 3 2, it can show 3 3, 3 4, 3 5, 3 6, it can show 4, and it can show this first die can show 4, the second one can show 1. You have 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, and so on. This one can show 5, this one show 1, 5, 1, 5, 2, and so on and so forth like that. This one can show 6, and this one will show 1. So we have it like that as well. So these are all the outcomes you will get when we throw a die twice, or we throw 2 dice together. So we have to obtain the probability of obtaining the sum of score that is less than 10. So this is less than 10. So less than 10, less than 10. If you add them together, it's going to be less than 10. All these are favorable. Less than 10. These are less than 10 also. Less than 10, less than 10, less than 10, less than 10. If you add them together, so all these are favorable, because when you add them together, it's going to be less than 10. So, but this one is not favorable. Favorable, favorable, favorable. This one is not favorable. Favorable, favorable, and this one is not favorable. So we are having, out of 36, we have 5 that is not less than 10. So the sum of the score that is be at least less than 10. At least less than 10. So that is the minimum is 10. Okay, be at least less than 10. Okay, so that means that should give us a 30, because if you count all these favorable ones, there's a 30 out of 36. So, and the question say at least less than 10. The sum of the score to be at least less than 10. So if you reduce that should give us a 5/6. Yes, 5/6. So which I think the option here is to be 5/6 instead of 5/36 that they wrote. Question number 46 is from the solid shape as well, mensuration of solid shape. A cone is made from a sector of a circle of radius 14 cm and 90 degrees. What is the area of the curved surface area? What is the area of the curved surface of the cone? So there is a relationship between sector of a circle and the radius of the cone. Now from the sector of the circle, we are given its radius, we are given the angle of the sector. They want us to find the curved surface area of a cone. So if curved surface area of a cone is pi L. So we don't have the radius of the cone, neither do we have the slant height of the cone, which is the L. But we can get the radius of the cone and the slant height from the sector of the circle given. So if I draw the sector of the circle, which is having a radius of 14 centimeters, and the angle at the center is 90 degrees. Then if I fold a sector of a circle that this side and this side are coinciding, that is, they meet each other, so that will form a cone for us. It means that the radius of the cone will become the slant height of the cone. So the radius of the sector, which is 14 centimeters, will become the slant height of the cone. So that means the slant height of the cone will be 14 centimeters also. Then also, by the time we fold the sector, the circumference of the base of the circle will become the length of this arc here. The length of this arc here of the sector, the length of the arc of the sector will become the circumference of the base of the cone. And from there, we'll be able to derive the base radius of this cone here. And we'll be able to derive the base radius of the cone here from the length of this arc of the sector. And the radius of the cone will be equals to the angle of the sector multiplied by the radius of the sector over 360. So the base radius of a cone is getting from the angle at the center of the sector multiplied by the radius of the sector divided by 360 degrees. If you substitute that, you have 90 times 14 over 360. That gives us 3.5 centimeters. So that means the radius of the cone is 3.5 centimeters. So if you put that into this formula for curved surface area of the cone, we'll be having pi RL, and that should give us 22/7 times 3.5, which is the radius, times 14, which is the slant height. And 3.5 is similar to 7/2. So 7 will cancel 7, 2 will cancel 22, that gives us 11 times 14. That gives us 154 centimeters square. And that is option D. Question number 47 is from trigonometric ratio. Given that sin P is equal to 5/13, where P is an acute angle, find the value of cos P minus tan P. So to be able to do this, you need to draw a right angle triangle. Then P is an acute angle, so you can put it here or here. So I can locate it here, P. Then sin is opposite over hypotenuse. So sin P is opposite over hypotenuse. That means 5 will be here and 13 will be your hypotenuse. So we can now find the third side of the triangle so that we'll be able to find our cos. Because cosine of an angle is adjacent over hypotenuse. So we need this side to be able to find cosine. And we need this side to be able to find our tan also. So to find this side, because this is a this is a right angle triangle, you can use Pythagoras theorem to find the third side. So that means we have 13 squared. 13 squared is equals to 5 squared plus s squared. So we have 169 equals to 25 plus s squared. Then from there, collect like times s squared is equals to 169 minus 25. That gives us 144. S will give us 12. So from there now, cos P will be adjacent over hypotenuse. That will be 12/13 minus tan P will be opposite over adjacent. That will be 5/12. From there, you can find the LCM of 13 and 12. That will be 156. 13 in 156 is 12. 12 times 12 144 minus 12 into 156 13. 13 times 5 will give us 65. If you subtract this, that will give us 79 over 156. And that makes option A the right answer for question number 49. Question number 48 is from coordinate geometry. We have to find the distance between point A and point B given their coordinates. And we have to find the distance between 2 points given their coordinates. That should be square root of change in x squared plus change in y squared. So that may be having square root of our S2 is 2, our S1 is 4. You have 2 minus 4 squared plus y2 is minus 1 and y1 is 3. That minus 1 minus 3 squared. 2 minus 4 is minus 2. You have minus 2 squared. Minus 1 minus 3 is minus 4. You have minus 4 squared. Minus 2 squared is 4 plus 16. That gives us a sort of 20. And sort of 20 is, if you simplify it, that should give us a 2/5 units, and which is option A for question number 48. Question number 49 is also from the probability. The probability that Ade, Biodun, and Clara pass an examination are 2/3, 3/4, and 4/5 respectively. Find the probability that only Ade will pass the examination. So if probability that only Ade will pass the examination is, it means that if Ade pass, that means Clara, Biodun will fail and Clara will fail also. And we need to get the probability that Biodun will fail and Clara will fail also. So probability that Ade pass is 2/3. Probability that Ade will fail will be 1 minus 2/3. That gives us 1/3. Then probability that Biodun pass is 3/4. Then probability that he will fail is 1 minus 3/4, which is 1/4. Probability that Clara pass is 4/5. That means probability that I will fail is 1 minus 4/5. That gives us 1/5. Then to now get probability that Ade pass, only Ade pass, that means probability that Ade pass, which is 2/3 times probability that Biodun fail and probability that Clara failed. So that will give us 2/3 times 1/4 times 1/5. And if you simplify that further, that gives us 1/30, which is option B. The last question for the objective question is also from probability. The probability of picking a black ball at a random is 3/10, and probability of the white is 2/5. If there are 30 balls in the box, how many of them are white? So we are told that the 30 balls are in the box, and we don't know how many are white and we don't know how many are black. But we are told that the probability of each of them is 3/10 and 2/5. We can say let x be the number of white ball. If x is the number of white ball, then we can now use that to find the probability. That means probability of picking the white ball will be x out of 30 balls. And we have been given the probability of picking the white ball, which is 2/5. So we'll be having 2/5 equals to s over 30. From there you can cross multiply. We can multiply 5x is equals to 60. Divide both sides by 5, s will be 12. So that means we have a 12 white ball in the box, which makes option D the right answer for question number 50. So that is all about the objective questions. Now we are going to be progressing to the theoretical part of the question. But before we go on, if you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please click on the subscribe button right now, so as to know whenever we post information on our platform, and please share this video so as to help us reach out to as many as possible students who are desperately in need of this resource material. Now, without wasting our time, let's go to the question, the theoretical part of the question. The first question is that you evaluate using the mathematical table the fifth root of 0.0764 over 0.921 correct or 3 significant figure. So that means you are going to use logarithm table to simplify this, and I believe that you have your logarithm table beside you right now. So draw your table. We have number, we have a log. So the first number there is 0.0764. The first thing to do is to get the characteristics of this number, and the characteristics of this number is a number less than 1. So the characteristic is going to be having a bar. So we have, if you change it, if you move decimal point 1 2, so we'll be having bar 2. So the characteristic of this number is bar 2. So you write bar 2, then put points. Go to your logarithm table, check 76 under 4. So 76 under 4 will give us 8830. Then the second number is also a number less than 1 as well, which is 0.921. So the characteristic of this number is going to be bar 1. Then go to your logarithm table to get the mantissa. 92 under 1, that will give us a 9642. So in between the number we are having division, that means we are going to subtract them. So introduce your negative subtraction sign. Then you can now subtract. 0 minus 2 is impossible. You borrow from here to here. So I'll give us 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. So here we are having 2 left. You borrow from here to here, also there will be 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. So here you are left with 7. 7 minus 6 is 1. Then 8 minus 9 is impossible also. So you are going to borrow from here also. So if you borrow from here to here, that will become 18. 18 minus 9 will give us 9. Then this one become bar 3 now. Before you are having bar 2, you were holding 2, that is minus 2. And you go back again and borrow 1 again. That means you are now having bar 3. So you are having minus 3 now here. Minus 1. Minus 3 minus 1. So that gives us a minus 3 plus 1. And that gives us a bar 2 there. So that gives us a bar 2. So from there now, we are now to divide our answer. We are having 50th root of this. You have to divide the answer by 5. We're going to be dividing this by 5. And that will not be possible yet, because a 5 cannot go in bar 2 directly. The second question that we solve under objective question is like this. Where we divided a whole number by a number with bar. And I told you what to do. We need to improvise. We need to change this bar 2 to a number with bar that 5 can go in it without remainder. So plus another positive number. So that will replace bar 2 here. And that should be bar 5 plus 4. So replace this one with bar 5 plus 3 rather. Bar 5 plus 3. That will give us bar 2. Minus 5 plus 3 will give us minus 2. So you are using bar 5 because 5 can go in bar 5. You should give us bar 1. So I now have this bar 5 plus 3 to replace bar 2, then 0.9188. So now we can now divide by 5 now. So if you divide 5 in bar 5, will give us bar 1 plus 5 in 3. That will be impossible. You have 0 point there. Then 5 in 39, that will give us 7, because 7 times 5 will give us 35. Remainder 4. 5 in 41, that will give us 8. Remainder 1. 5 in 18 will give us 3. Remainder 3. 5 in 38 will give us 7. And so on. So we only need 4 decimal places, so we can throw away the rest. So bar 1 plus 0 will give us a bar 1. So we have bar 1.7837 after dividing. So at this point now, you can now find the antilog of bar 1.7837. So what do? You write a 0 point first. You go to your antilog, check 78 under 3 different 7. So whatever you get, I'm going to be getting 6.0. You're going to be getting 6077. Then you now add 1 to this. You now add 1 to this minus 1. That gives us 0. So if you add 1 to this minus 1, that gives us 0. That means you are not going to move your decimal point at all. So that means the final answer is going to be 0.6077, which is the answer for this question number 1. Question number 2 is from sequence and series. In this case, geometric progression. You are told that 7 minus 2x, 9, and 5x plus 17 are consecutive terms of GP with common ratio r greater than 0. Find x. So since they said that this one form a GP, that means there should be common ratio in between the terms. So the common ratio between this and this should be equal to the common ratio between this one and this one. So that means I should be having 9. And how do we get common ratio? That means the second term divided by the third term, or the third term divided by second term. So that means I should be having a 9 divided by 7 minus 2x. That should give us the same thing as a 5x plus 17 over 9, which is idea of common ratio. From there, you can cross multiply. So we'll be having 7 minus 2s multiplying 5s plus 17 equals to 9 times 9 is 81. We can open the bracket here. 7 times 5s will give us 35x. 7 times 17 will give us 119. Minus 2s times 5s will give us minus 10 s squared. Then minus 2s times 17 will give us minus 34x equals to 81. We can collect the like terms from here. 35x minus 34x, that gives us a x. So then we'll be having minus 10s squared plus x plus 119. Bring this one here, you have a minus 81 equals to 0. So we have a minus 10s squared plus x. 119 minus 81 gives us 38 equals to 0. Then I can multiply through by minus to give me if I multiply through by minus to eradicate this minus here. So I have 10s squared, this one become minus, this one become minus, equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation now to solve using any method that you understand. But I'm going to be using a formula method to solve this. Our A is 10, our B is minus 1, our C is minus 38. So using quadratic formula, we have S equals to minus B plus or minus square root of B squared minus 4AC over 2A. If we substitute, we'll be having S is equals to minus open bracket minus 1 plus or minus square root of minus 1 squared minus 4 into 10 into minus 38 over 2 times 10. Then from there, minus 1 times minus times 1 will give us plus here. We have S equals to plus 1 plus or minus square root of minus 1 square is 1. Then minus times minus will give us plus. 4 times 10 times 38 will give us 1520 over 20. From there, 1 plus 1520 will give us 1521 over 20. So square root of that should give us 39. Then we understand that this implies two statements. We are going to be having 1 plus 39 over 20 or 1 minus 39 over 20. So 1 plus 39 is 40. That will give us S equals to 40 over 20, or S equals to minus 38 over 20. 20 can go in 40. That will give us a 2. And you can reduce this. 2 can go up and down here. That will give us a 2 or minus 19 over 10. But they said that our common ratio must be greater than 0. So that means S is going to be 2 in this case. So we should make our answer to be 2 for this question number 2. Question number 3 is from the circle geometry. They said that the diagram shows a circle A, B, C, D, E with center hole. Angle AEB is 33 degrees, and angle BOC is 76 degrees. Calculate the value of angle ABD. Angle A, B, and D. Angle A, B, and D, which is the whole angle from here to here like this. So we are looking for the angle ABD, which is the whole angle here. We are looking for the whole angle here, which is angle ABD here. Then to find that, we can find this angle D that are marked with this blue angle here. We can find this angle here, because that angle and this angle, they are equal, angle in the same segment. And because this line BD passes through the center, that makes it a diameter. And if that is the case, because I've been told that O is the center, so that means there is a diameter, and that means this angle BAD, the angle here, is going to be a right angle, which is a angle in a semicircle. So the angle here is going to be an angle in a semicircle, which is going to be 90 degrees. Then from there, we can see the triangle ADB. We are looking for this angle ADB, which is the angle here. So we already have this to be 33 and this is 90. We can find this angle using sum of angle in a triangle. So angle ADB is, like I said, is 33, angle in the same segment. Then angle DAB is 90 degrees, angle in a semicircle. Therefore, angle ADB we are looking for will be 180 minus 33 minus 90 degrees. Sum of angle in a triangle, and that should give us 57 degrees when you subtract this from 180. Question number 4 is from a trigonometric ratio. Find the value of theta lying between 0 degrees and 360 degrees of 7 cos theta plus 3 equals 0, leaving your answer to 1 decimal place. Now, what can we say? Like I said, the question is from trigonometric ratio. Our aim is to find theta. So from there, what can we do? You can collect like times. You'll be having 7 theta equals to minus 3 by bringing this 3 here. Divide both sides by 7. So we'll be having minus 3 over 7. You change it to a decimal number. We're having minus 0.4286. Then our aim is to find theta. You can find the, I mean, you find the cos inverse of minus 0.4286. And then that should give us a minus 62.62 degrees. So, and our angle is not what you're looking for. This is not what you're looking for. The angle is going to be positive angle. And this minus 62.62 degrees is a pointer to what you are looking for. And they said that the angle is from the 0 degree to 360 degree. Then you are going to be using your quadrant to be able to find the other angles. And where are we going to be finding them? We are going to be finding them. The trigonometry ratio we are working on is cos. So on your quadrant, you'll be considering the quadrant where cos is negative. The quadrant where cos is negative. So cos is negative at the third and the fourth quadrant. Sorry, cos is negative at the second and the third quadrant rather. Sorry, I made a mistake. Cos is negative at the second and the third quadrant. So those are the places you are going to be getting your angles. So that means at the cosine is negative at second and third quadrant. Then at the second quadrant, that means to get the angle that is there, you're going to be removing this angle from 180. So you're going to be having 180 minus 62.62 degrees. And that should give us a 117.38 degrees. And the question says we should leave our answer in the one decimal place, which is 0.1 degrees. And that should give us a 117.4 degrees. Then also at the third quadrant, to find the angle there, we are going to be adding this angle to 180 degrees. So we are having 180 plus 62.62 degrees. And that should give us a 242.62 degrees. And to one decimal place also, that gives us a 242.6 degrees as the value of the theta that we are to get. So theta is either this or this. Now the question number 5 is from the cosine rule or sine rule. I don't know which one is it, but until we draw the triangle, we are told that there's a triangle ABC. If I draw the triangle and I label it A, B, and C, angle C is 53 degrees. So that means the angle here is going to be 53 degrees. Then side B, because B, this place is a small letter, this B is a small letter, it should represent this side. And the side B will be side facing the angle B, which is this side here. That will be 3.56. And the side C is 4.28, which is the side facing the angle C, which is here. And this one is here. You have to calculate angle B, which is the angle that is here. You are looking for this angle. So definitely we can use because this is a non-right angle triangle, we cannot use trigonometric ratio. So we are going to be using sine rule. So why are we using sine rule? Because we have a pair complete. This angle and the side facing is a pair. So we can use sine rule in this case. And what does it say? We're going to be using sine rule, which is the sine of this angle over this side against the side that we against this angle and the side we are looking that we are given. So we will be having sine B over 3.56 equals to sine 53 equals over 4.28. If you cross multiply, this will multiply this, that gives us this, and this will multiply this, that gives us this. So we can divide both sides by 4.28. So we'll be having sine B is equals to this. Then if you press your calculator, this time this, whatever you get divided by 4.28, that gives us a 0.6642. Our aim is to find angle B, so you need to find the sine inverse of 0.6642, and that gives us a 41.6 degrees, which is the value of angle B. And if you want to know more on a sine rule and cosine rule, you can check the playlist of my video. There is a video I made on a sine rule and cosine rule where I explain everything in details on how to solve sine rule and cosine rule. Question number 6 is from the simultaneous equation of linear equation. Simultaneous equation in linear equation. We have 1 over x plus 1 over y equals to 5. 1 over y plus 1 over y equals to 2. but there's a typographical error in the question. Pardon me, please. So there's a typographical error in the question, so it is not, both of them are not positive. So you can represent each one over s as p, 1 over y as q. So the equation will become p plus q. For the equation 1, p plus q is equal to 5. Then equation 2, we are having this minus, this is minus not plus. So we'll be having p minus q is equals to 1. So that's what you're supposed to be having minus here. That's the right question. So from there, you can solve this simultaneously now by adding the two equations so that you can eliminate p and get q. So if you add equation 1 and equation 2, you'll be having 2q equals to 6. Then divide both sides by 2, q will be equal to 3. Then having gotten your q, you can go back and find our p by substituting that into equation 1 or equation 2. So from equation 1, we have a q to be p plus 3 equals to 5. P will be 5 minus 3, p will be equals to 2. Now that we know the value of our p and q, now I can now go back and find our x and y, which is what we are looking for in the first place. So I have for here I have our p to be, our p is 2. I can put that here. That we have 2 is equals to 1 over x. So to find our s, you can cross multiply and divide both sides by 2. That gives us 1 over 2. Or you can just inverse both sides, inverse this to find x, inverse it, that gives us 1 over 2. So s is 1 over 2. Then for the second one, for y, so our q is 3, so put that here also. You'll be having 3 is equals to 1 over y. So that means y also will be 1 over 3. So s is 1 over 2, y is 1 over 3 for question number 6. Question number 7 is from probability. The probability that A, B, C hit a target is 2 over 3, 5 over 8, and 3 over 4, respectively. Find the probability that only one hit target. None of the 3 hit target. Exactly 2 hit the target. So the first thing to do is that probability of A hit target is 2 over 3. That means we need to find probability that if A failed to hit the target. So probability that A failed to hit the target will be 1 minus probability that he hit the target. So that will give us 1 over 3. The same thing for probability of B hitting the target, which is 5 over 8. Then probability that it will fail to hit the target is 1 minus 5 over 8, which is 3 over 8. Then probability that C hit the target is 3 over 4. We need to find probability that it failed to hit the target also. That will be 1 minus 3 over 4, which is 1 over 4. Then having this available, we can now go ahead and find what it has to find. Probability that only one hit target. So probability that only one hit target means that A hit the target, B failed to hit the target, and C failed to hit the target. Or probability that A failed to hit the target, B hit the target, and C failed to hit the target. Or probability that A failed, B failed, C did not fail. So those are the options that we have for only one hit the target. And that will have this. So the first one here is probability that A hit, then the remaining two fail, plus probability that A fail, B hit the target, then C failed, plus probability that A fail, B fail also, then C hit the target. So that's the probability of only one of them hitting the target. So A hit, B fail, C fail, or A fail, B hit, C fail, or A fail, B fail, C hit. Those are the options you can get. Therefrom, you can simplify this further. So if you simplify this one, will give us 1 over 16. Simplify this, 5 over 96. That means you can reduce it with your calculator. You can, with your head, you can reduce it. Then this also, that gives us 3 over 32. Find the LCM, that will be 96. Then you simplify that, that gives us a 6 plus 5 plus 9 over 96. And that should give us 20 over 96. And that should be reduced to 5 over 24. Then none of them hit the none of the 3 hit the none of the 3 hit the target. So that will be probability that A fail multiplied by probability that B fail, probability that C fail. So that will be probability that none hit, which is 1 over 3 times 3 over 8 times 1 over 4. So that is for that. If you simplify that, that'll give us 1 over 32. Then the last one, exactly 2 hit the target. So probability that exactly 2 hit the target. So that means it could be A hit the target, B hit the target, but C failed to hit the target. Then, or probability that A and C hit the target, but B failed to hit the target. Or probability that B and C hit the target, A failed the target. So those are the 3 options that we have. So that means I'll be having probability that A hit the target, B hit the target, but C failed to hit the target. Or probability that B hit the target, then C hit the target, but A failed to hit the target. Plus probability that A hit the target, C hit the target, then B hit the target. So B failed to hit the target. Those are the options that we can get. And when you simplify that, the first one will give us simplify this one 5 over 48, simplify this 5 over 32, simplify this 3 over 16. You can find the LCM, which should be 96 also. That gives us 43 over 96. And that's solution for question number 7. Question number 8 is from the statistics. The marks scored by 50 students in a mathematics examination are as follows. So we are given this scatter data. We are to using class interval of 2 to 30, 31 to 40, and so on. Prepare a frequency table. Then from there, calculate the mean mark of the distribution. Then what percentage of the students score more than 60%. So let's all group the data as you are asked to prepare a frequency table. So what do? You draw your table. Here we'll be having a class interval, and the class interval is given from 21 to 30. Next one is 31 to 40. So what is the highest number here? I think I have 73 as the highest number there. That means the interval, okay, 74 is here. That means the interval will continue. So they want you to complete the rest. That will be 41 to 50, 51 to 60, 61 to 70, then 71 to 80. So I don't think there's a number that is more than 80 here. So that means you're going to stop your class interval here. Then the next thing to do is to put your tally. You need to tally the data. And what do you mean by tally? You pick the data one after the other and put them under the interval they belong to with a stick or stripe. So let's start to do that. 60 is the first one, circle it. It will fall under 51 to 60 with a stripe. 54, it will fall under 51 to 60 with a stripe also. 40, it will fall under 31 to 40 with a stripe. 67 will fall under 61 to 70. 53 will fall under 51 to 60. 73 will fall under 71 to 80. 37 will fall under 31 to 40. 55 will fall under 51 to 60. 62 will fall under 61 to 70. 43 will fall under 51 to 50. 44, okay, 51 will fall under 51 to 60. You need to cross the first 4 line there. Cross it. That make 5 there. 39 is the next one. It will fall under 31 to 40. 67 will fall under 61 to 70. 48 will fall under 41 to 50. 58 will fall under 51 to 60 with a stripe. 45 it will fall here. 32 it will fall under 31 to 40. 39 will fall under 39 to 40 again with a stripe. Close that. 69 will fall under 61 to 70. 44 will fall under this. Then 46 will fall here, cross. 59 will fall under 51 to 60. 40 will fall under 31 to 40. 52 will fall under 61 to 60. 61 will fall under this, you cross. 48 will fall here. 23 will fall here. 60 will fall under this. 59 will fall under 51 to 60. We cross that again. 47 will fall here. 60 will fall under here. okay, 50 rather, not 60. 50 will fall here, then another 50 will fall here also, then 51 will fall under this place, then 68 will fall here with a stripe, 59 will fall here with a stripe also, then 40 fall here, then 47 will fall under 41 to 50, we cross that, 74 will fall here, then 58 will fall under this part, then 65 will fall under 61 to 70, then 71 will fall here, 51 will fall here, 26 will fall under 21 to 30, 36 will fall under 31 to 40, 38 will fall under 31 to 40, 70 will fall under 61 to 70, 46 will fall under 41 to 50, 40 will fall here, we cross, 51 will fall under 51 to 60 with a cross, then 42 will fall under 51 to 60, sorry, under 51 to 41 to 50 rather. So with that, we have been able to tally the diagram. Then from here now, we can now prepare our frequency, which is 2, here is 10, here is 12, here is 15, here is 8, and here is 3. So everything sum up together will give us a 50. So this is the frequency table they want us to prepare. So we have been able to prepare a frequency table like that. They want us to calculate the mean mark of the distribution. To find mean of a group data, we need summation fx over summation f. Summation fs over summation f. This is our f. What we don't have is we don't have x. So we need to get our x. And our s is the midpoint of class interval. X is the midpoint of the class interval. So you add the class interval together divided by 2. 21 plus 30 is 51 divided by 2. 25.5. 31 plus 40 divided by 2. 35.5. 41 plus 50 divided by 2. 45.5. 51 plus 60 divided by 2. 55.5. 61 plus 70 divided by 2. 65.5. 71 plus 80 divided by 2. 75.5. So that's the value of our x. Then from there we need to find our fx. So f will multiply x. So fx is what you are finding. 2 times 25.5, that gives us 51. 10 times 35.5, 355. 12 times this, 546. 15 times 55.5, 832.5. 8 times 65.5, 524. 3 times 75.5, 226.5. Then we have to sum our fx, summation of fx. Sum your fs together. So if you sum this together with your calculator, you should be having 2535. Then to find our mean, our summation f is 50. So put that into the, you have 2535 over 50. Then divide that, give us 50.70 as our mean. Then we have to, what is the percentage of the student that score more than 60? So if these are scores, student that score more than 60 are this and this one. So how many of them? 8 and plus 3 score more than 60. So that gives us 11. So 11 students score more than 60. So the percentage of that out of 50 students, so we'll be having 11 over 50 times 100. And that should give us a 22 students that score more than 60%. So, and that's the solution to that question number 8. And if you want more understanding on statistics, there are video I made on statistics. So check the playlist of my video. You will see playlist that contains statistics. It contains all the information that you need to learn when it comes to statistics. Question number 9 is from the angle of elevation and depression. A woman looked out from a window of a building at a height of 30 meters above at the height of 30 meters, observed that the angle of depression of the top of a flagpole was 44 degrees. If the foot of the pole is 25 meters from the foot of the building and on the same horizontal ground, find correct to the nearest whole number the angle of depression of the foot of the pole from the woman, the height of the flagpole. So what we can see here is that we are having two things involved. There's a building which we can represent, we can use this to represent that, and there's a flagpole. So, and they said the building is 30 meter height, and there's also a flagpole which is also a vertical height, but flagpole cannot be it's not going to be tall as the building, because we're told that the woman is on the window of the building. So that means the window is taller. Sorry, the building is taller than the flagpole. So let's say this is the flagpole and let's say this is the building. So the woman, let's say this is where the woman is, and we are told that a woman looking out from a window, we're looking out from a window of a building of a height of 30-meter height. Observe that the angle of the depression of the top of the flagpole, okay, this is the top of the flagpole, let's say F. So the woman here is observing the top of the flagpole, and they said the angle is 44 degrees. So where should be the initial side of the woman? The woman is here, and she's supposed to be looking straight like this initially, but now she looked down at the top of the flagpole like this. So that means the angle of depression is formed there, and which is 44 degrees given. So if the foot of the pole is 25 meters, if the foot of the pole is 25 meters from the foot of the building on the same horizontal ground, so the foot of the building and the foot of the flagpole are 25 meters apart, as you can see. Then okay, and on the same horizontal ground, find correct to the nearest whole number the angle of depression of the foot of the pole from the woman. Okay, that means the woman also look at the foot of the flagpole. She did not only look at the top of the flagpole, she also observed the foot of the flagpole. That means she is also going to leave our initial site and look down at the foot of the flagpole like this. So you have to find the angle of depression, which is the angle from the initial site to the line like this. So you are looking for the whole angle that is here. That's what we are looking for, and let's label that theta. So the angle is here. This is what you are looking for, which is the angle of depression of the woman from angle of the foot of the flagpole from the woman, which is the angle from the initial site to the new site. How can we find this? Now the angle here, theta here, will be same thing as the angle here inside the triangle here. So let's call the bottom of the flagpole, let's call it B. So the angle here, which is the angle of depression here, is same thing as the angle here, which is theta, because they are alternate angles. So if you can find this angle inside this triangle here, and we should know that the bottom of the foot of the building will be perpendicular to the ground, so making this triangle a right angle triangle as well. So we can now use trigonometric ratio, since we have this side and this side, to be able to find this angle theta using trigonometric ratio. We are having opposite of the angle and the adjacent of the angle, so we can use tan. So tan theta is going to be 30 over 25. Change this one to decimal point, that gives us a 1.2. Then theta will be tan inverse of 1.2, and that gives us 50.19 degrees. So, and then we have to take it to the nearest whole number, that should give us a 50 degrees. So therefore the angle of depression of the foot of the flagpole from the woman will be 50 degrees. Then the next question is that we have to find the height of the flagpole. Height of the flagpole. This is the flagpole here. We are looking for from here to here. That's what we are looking for. And how would that be possible for us to do? Now it's possible. I can complete this diagram from this point here to this point here. I can draw a straight line here to complete the diagram here. So that make this place a rectangle. So having done that, that means from here to here is 25 meters. That means from here to here will also be 25 meters. Do you understand that? And you have been given this angle of depression of 44 degrees. That means this angle of 44 degrees also have relationship with this angle that is here. So the angle here 44 degrees and the angle here also will be equal. So that means this angle here will be 44 degrees as well, alternate angles. So why are we doing this? We can use this triangle here, this right angle triangle that is here. Since we have this base with this adjacent side to be 25 meters, which is equal to this side here, we can use that to find from here to here. So you can label this place G. So I can find from using that triangle FWG, I can use that to find this side here. So if I were able to find this side here, I can remove it from the whole side here, which is 30 meters, and that will give us from here to here. And from here to here is equals to the height of the flagpole. So let's use the trigonometric ratio to find the from here to here, which is WG, side WG. So that will be opposite over adjacent. That will be tan 44 will be side WG over side WG over 25. If you cross multiply, you'll be having 25 tan 44. So calculator will give us the answer to that, which is 24.14 meters. So that will be from here to here. Therefore, the height of the flagpole, which is the FB, that will be, okay, I will approximate it to nearest whole number, which is 24 meters. So the flagpole will now be the whole side here, which is 30 meters, minus from here to here, and that should be 24 30 minus 24.14, which is 5.8 meters, and which is the from here to this place here, which is same as the height of the flagpole, and that should give us a 6 meter to the nearest meters. So if you want to know more on angle of elevation and depression, you can also check my playlist. There are videos I've made on angle of elevation and depression, which will enlighten you more on how to solve questions regarding elevation and depression, and to give you more understanding, because we solve a lot of questions in that video. Also, the next question, question number 10, is from statistics, and in this statistics, you are given that the tables show the mark score by some candidates in an examination. You have been given a frequency table that has been grouped. You have to draw a cumulative frequency curve for the distribution. You have to find the lowest mark for the distinction if 5% of the candidate pass with distinction. So I've reproduced the table. It was given horizontally like this, so I've reproduced this vertically so that it will save our time. So I've not done anything, I've only rewritten the table like this. So we have to draw a cumulative frequency curve, which is called O-give. We call this curve O-give. But we cannot draw cumulative frequency curve unless we have cumulative frequency table. So we need to first find our cumulative frequency table before we can draw cumulative frequency curve. So from the frequency table given, we can get cumulative frequency table. So from the frequency table given, you can get cumulative frequency table. So that means we need to add some things to this table to be able to get cumulative frequency table. So what are the things? Firstly, you need to add this frequency together. That gives us 200. Then to add to this frequency table, to be able to get cumulative frequency table, you need to add 2 columns. The first one is upper class boundary, and the second one is cumulative frequency. So we add upper class boundary and cumulative frequency to the table to be able to get cumulative frequency table. So let's start. Let's first of all add upper class boundary. Upper class boundary is gotten from upper class interval. So these are class interval here. The first one are called lower class interval, the other one are called upper class interval. So from this upper class interval, you're going to get upper class boundaries. So you're going to be adding 0.5 to this upper class interval, one after the other, to be able to get upper class boundary. So if you add 0.5 to 9, that gives us a 9.5. 0.5 to 19, 19.5. 29.5 plus 9, 0.5, that gives us a 29.5, and so on like that. So now we have already gotten our upper class boundary. The next thing to add to the table to be able to get cumulative frequency table is cumulative frequency. That is to say, cumulate your frequency, sum your frequency together, cumulate it bit by bit. So the first one is 7, you have 7 here. Then the next one will now be 7 plus 11. So we have 7 plus 11, that will give us 18. The next one will be 18 plus 17, that will give us 35. The next one will be 35 plus 20, that will give us a 55. Next one will be 55 plus 29, that will give us 84. The next one will be 84 plus 34, that will give us 118. The next one will be 118 plus 30, that will give us 148. 148 plus 25, that will give us 173. 173 plus 21, 194. 194 plus 6, that will give us 200. So we have been able to accumulate our frequency like this. And how do we know that you are right or wrong? When you're accumulating your frequency, the last number you're going to get here must be equals to the sum of the total frequency here. So the sum of the frequency here must be the same thing as the last cumulative frequency you're going to get here. So if it's different, that means you are wrong somewhere. So, and there's no need for you summing this together if you know how to do your cumulative frequency, you can just write your 7, 18, 35, 55, 84, 118 and so on, instead of summing it like this. And if you do it like this now as well, they are not going to fail you. We're just showing you how we got the cumulative frequency. So now we have a cumulative frequency table ready. So having gotten this, we can now go ahead and draw cumulative frequency curve. Having gotten your cumulative frequency table. So to draw cumulative frequency table, I will need this cumulative frequency table. To draw cumulative frequency curve, I will need this table to draw it. And in order to draw cumulative frequency curve, you need your graph. So I've helped you to get a graph here. You're going to be using a graph here. So we need a graph, and this a graph, a y-axis standard graph is what you have on the screen. And you're going to be using this graph to draw the cumulative frequency curve. So get your own graph as well, like this. And the first thing to do is to label your axis draw your axis rather. You have your y-axis, and what are we going to be drawing on the y-axis? We are going to be representing the cumulative frequency. This cumulative frequency will be on the y-axis, so you have CF represent the cumulative frequency, and another line on the y-axis, on the x-axis, which is representing our upper class boundaries, UBC, upper class boundaries. So upper class, UCB, supposed to be UCB, not UBC, upper class boundary. Then from there, now the next thing to do is to scale your graph based on the cumulative frequency and based on the upper class boundary. So you need to scale your graph. Now if you look at my graph, the highest on the frequency on the y-axis, which is representing the cumulative frequency, the highest number there is 200, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 boxes, which is representing 2 centimeters. So how many units do you think I can put on 2 centimeters on these boxes to be able to occupy these 200 values here? So if I can use 20 units, so 20 units will be enough. So I have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200. So that will be enough for me to be able to plot. Then on the y-axis, on the x-axis, you are putting your upper class boundary. There's no need for scaling it. You can just impute your upper class boundary on each of this line, on each of the 2 centimeters here. So here I will have 9.5, 19.5, 29.5, 39.5 here, 49.5, 59.5, 69.5, 79.5, 89.5, and 99.5. So of course I know that between 19.9.5 and 19.5 we have 10 units there. So we have 10 units in between 2 centimeters for the x-axis as well. So here you're having 20 units on the 2 centimeters. Here you're having 10 units on 2 centimeters. Now from there, what can we do? You can now start plotting one after the other. When our upper class boundary is 9.5, our cumulative frequency is 7. So before we plot, we need to know what one line will represent on the y-axis, what each small line will represent on the y-axis. So 10 lines we are having here carry 20 units. That means one line will carry 2 units. So that means each line on the y-axis is 2 units. So now we can now plot now. When upper class boundary is 9.5, which is this point here, our cumulative frequency is 7. So we need the 3 lines and a half on the y-axis, 3 lines and a half. So we have 1, 2, 3. So put an asterisk there on the after the third line. Then in the middle of third and fourth lines, you put an asterisk there. So 19.5, which is here, the cumulative frequency is 18. So 18 should be the ninth one, 9 line after from 0. So you count to the 9. So each line on the y-axis is 2. So 18 will be 91. So you make an asterisk there also. Next one is 29.5. The cumulative frequency is 35. 35. So this is 20. The next 5 lines should be 30. Then 2 lines more will be 34, and the middle will be 35. So that should be 7.5 line. 7.5. So that will be 35. The next one is 55 under 39.5. 55. This is 40 here. 40 is here. The next 5 line will be 50. Then the next 2 line and a half will be 55. That will be 7.5 line also. That will be 55. Then the next one is 84 under 49.5, 84, this is 80. Then to get 4, then we need 2 more lines because each line is 2 units on the y-axis. So 80, then 2 more lines, so 84. Make an asterisk there. Then the next one is 148 under cumulative frequency, and that will be under 69.5. Under sorry, I think I made a mistake. The next one is 118, rather 118 under 59.5. So 118 is this 100. 118, that should be the ninth 18, that should 118 should be the ninth line after 100. The ninth one is 118, so that will be an asterisk. Then the next one will be 148, which is under 69.5. It's 140. Then to get 8, that should be the fourth line after 140. That should be 148, the fourth line there. Then the next one is 173 under 79.5. This is 160. The fifth line should be 170. Then 173, that should be the sixth line and a half. After the fifth one, the sixth line and a half. So that will be 173. The next one will be 194. This is 190, 80. 190 should be the fifth line. 196. 194 should be next one, and 197. What am I saying? 190 should be the fifth line after 180. Then 194 should be the next 2 lines. That should be 7th line from 180. That should be the 194. Then the last one is 200, which should be here. So you have been able to plot all the points. Then take your broom or your French curve to join the points together to give us a curve. You're going to be having something like this. So that's the cumulative frequency curve they want us to draw. So this is the cumulative frequency curve, which is also called O-give, that they want us to draw. Then the second question the under is that we have to find the lowest mark for distinction if 5% of the candidate pass with distinction. So if 5% of candidate pass with distinction, so we want us to know the pass mark. Sorry, they want us to know the lowest mark rather. So if 5% pass with distinction, that means 95% did not get distinction. 95% did not get distinction. So 95% is same thing as 95 percentile. 95% is same thing as 95 percentile. So that will give us 95 over 100 times the total frequency, which is 200. That will give us the position of the 95 percentile on the graph. So 100 times we go in 200, that gives us a 2 times 95, that gives us 190. So the 95 percentile is going to be at 190 position. So go to your graph. This is 180 here. 190 should be the fifth line after 180. That gives us 190. So mark the point there. Then draw a straight line like that until it reaches or touches the curve. Then bring it down like this. So bring it down so that you'll be able to know the mark. Don't forget that this upper class boundary is representing marks. Don't forget that, because we got it from the interval, which is also the mark. So we are looking for the mark here. We are looking for the lowest mark, so that how many students get fail to get distinction? 95%. So which is 95%, which is what we got here to get the mark we are looking for. So here now you can now read the value at the x-axis here. We know that each value on the x-axis, each line represents 1 unit, because we are having 10 units in between 2 centimeters. So we are having each line is around 1 unit. So this is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 line. 7th line. This is on the 7th line. So 7 plus 79.5. 7 plus 79.5. So that should give us 86.5. We are having 7 plus 95.5. that gives us 86.5. So 86.5 is the lowest mark for getting distinction. If you want to get distinction, you must score 86, at least 86.5. So that's the solution to that question. Also, the 11th question is from the mensuration of solid shape, and all the questions we have been solving were gotten from the wire past questions. The question says that an oil reservoir is formed of a cone mounted on an hemisphere built such that the plane of the face of the hemisphere is fit exactly to the base of the cone, and the height of the cone is 6 times the radius of the base. If the volume of the reservoir is 333 whole number 1/3 pi meter cube, calculate to the nearest whole number the radius of the reservoir and the volume of the hemisphere. And we are giving pi to be 22/7. What are they saying in essence? We are having an hemisphere. An hemisphere is a half of a sphere, just like a bowl. So, and this is an hemisphere. We are having a cone also, and we are now saying that this cone is mounted on top of this hemisphere, and they call that a reservoir. They call it oil reservoir. So when a cone is mounted on top of this hemisphere, they call it a reservoir. So if I mount, you can see if I mount the cone on the hemisphere, so you can see that the base of the cone fit into the top of this hemisphere. So that means you are not going to be seeing the top of the hemisphere. You are not going to be seeing the base of the cone also again. So in case they ask you to find the total surface area, there's a way you can do that. So am I saying in essence? And if you want to know more on solid shape also, you can check my playlist where I made this formula for where I made video for mensuration of solid shape also. So now what am I saying in essence? You can what are we have to do? We are told that an oil or reservoir form of a cone mounted on a hemisphere built such that the plane of the face of the hemisphere is fit under the base of the cone, and we are told that the height of the cone is 6 times the radius of the base. So the cone is supposed to have a base radius which is same thing as the radius of the top of the hemisphere. So we are supposed to have a radius, and the cone also supposed to have a height also. So we are now telling us the relationship between the radius and the height of the cone, that the height of the cone is 6 times the radius. So that's the relationship between them. So that means if the radius is r, that means the height will be 6r, because we are told that it is 6 times the radius. So that means the height will be 6r. So we are now giving the volume of this reservoir, the whole shape. We are giving the volume of the reservoir. And how do we get the volume of the reservoir? That should be the volume of the cone plus the volume of the hemisphere. So, and that should give us the volume of the reservoir. And they say it's 333 1/3 pi in a meter cube. So we have to use that to find the radius of the reservoir, which is our r. So what is the volume of the reservoir? Is the volume of the cone plus volume of the hemisphere. And what's the volume of a cone? That is 1/3 pi r square h plus volume of hemisphere, that is 4/3 pi r cube. So from there, oh sorry, I think there's a mistake here. The volume of hemisphere is not 4/3. This is the volume of a sphere itself. The volume of sphere is 4/3 pi r cube. So that means you're going to be having 2/3 instead of 4/3. Please, you need to change that from your own hand. It should be 2/3 pi r cube as the volume of an hemisphere. This 4/3 is the volume of a sphere itself, a full sphere. So please correct that from your own hand so that all will be good. So I'm going to continue with the way I've done it here, so that we don't have time to change, but correct it from your own hand. So from here, I can do that. I can change this one to improper fraction. 3 times 333 plus 1 give us 1000/3 pi equals to, I can factorize pi r square out from here because it is common. No, not only pi r square. I can factorize 1/3 pi r square. So I have 1/3 pi r square into, I have h left plus r 4r. Instead of 4r, you're supposed to be having 2r in your own case, because I made a mistake with the formula here. It's supposed to be 2/r. So you're going to be having 2r left here instead of 4r. You'll be having 2r. So from there, what can we do? This 3 can cancel the 3 here. Pi can take care of pi. So we'll be having a 1000. Okay, I have not done that yet. Okay, let's go on. So we are having that our h, which is the height, is 6r. So that we can replace that h with 6r plus 2r instead of 4r. So 6r plus 2r, and that should give us 8r instead of 10r here. So you have 8r instead of 10r. Then 3 can take care of 3 here. Pi can cancel pi. You'll be having 1000 equals to r cubed times 8r. R cubed times 8r. So r cubed times 8r will give us okay. So 8 that may be giving us r raised to power 8 r raised to power 4. You are going to be getting 8r raised to power 4, but in this case I did that 10 can cancel 10 in both sides, so you have 100 raised to power 100 equals to r raised to power 4. So you are supposed to be having 1000 equals to 8r raised to power 4. You cannot divide both sides by 8, so you'll be having 1000 divided by 8. So 1000 divided by 8 should give you let me check. So just give me 1 minute please. 1000 divided by 8. 1000 divided by 8. That should give us 125. So you are going to be having 125 is equals to r raised to power 4. Then from there we can now find the cube root of 124. I'll now find fourth root of 125. So give you a r. In this case I'm going to be doing fourth root of 100. That gave me 3.162 meters. But if you do fourth root of 125, it's going to give you something lesser than that. So you can do that from your own calculator. So meters, and we have to calculate to the nearest whole number. That gives us 3 meters in this case, but your own case you should do the needful. So that's the radius. Then the volume of the hemisphere now. So the volume of hemisphere will be it should be 2 over 3 per r cube, not 4 over 3 per r cube. 2 over 3 per r cube. So if you substitute your values, our r is 3.162 in this case, but your own you can do the needful here. You have 2 over 3 times 20 over 7. Then whatever you get for your radius, then cube it. Then use your calculator to simplify it. That will give us a 132.49 meter cube to the nearest meter, 132 meter cube. So that's the solution to that question for question number 11. The last question is from bearing and distance. It's from bearing and distance. Please, I can see that the video is very long, but bear with me. So 3 ships P, Q, and R are at sea. The bearing of Q from P is 30 degrees, and the bearing of P from R is 300 degrees. If side PQ is 5 centimeters and line PR is 8 centimeters, you have to calculate correct to see 3 significant figure distance between Q and R, the bearing of R and Q. So this is from bearing. The bearing of Q from P is 30 degrees. So what do? Draw a cardinal point to represent point P. Then the bearing of this Q from this P is 30 degrees. So 30 because this is a 3-digit bearing, the angle is going to be at this point here. So at this north is going to be, so because the angle is supposed to come from the north, 30 degrees. So draw a straight line, and the angle here is going to be 30 degrees. Label it there, and draw another cardinal point here to represent point Q. So point Q will be here now. And the bearing of P from R is 300 degrees. The bearing of this P from R, from another point R, is 300 degrees. Where do we put our R? Here, here, or here? Where do we put R for it to make angle 300 degrees from this P? So where do we put our R for this angle, for this point P to make 300 degrees from our R? Where are we going to put our R? So our R should be around somewhere here, because the line that will join them together should be around the northwest of the point R, because it can make that angle 300 degrees. So around here, I'm going to draw a partner point here. Then that will represent point R, because the line that's supposed to join P and R together is supposed to be at the north to the west, because that's when you can make that angle 300 degrees from the north to the west. So draw a straight line here from joining R and P together. Then the bearing they said is 300 degrees. The bearing of P from this R is 300 degrees, which should be north, from the north to this line here, which should be 300. So then that is what you asked us to do. Then you cannot join this point P to Q, sorry, to R rather, to form a triangle for us. So this is how the triangle will go. And what can we do? They said line PQ, P to Q is 5 centimeters, and P to R is 8 centimeters. So you should know that this line is meant to be longer than this line when you are drawing your diagram. Then you have to calculate correct to 3 significant figure the distance between Q and R, which is here. And we cannot find that side unless we have an angle in this triangle, which we don't have yet, because we already have 2 sides given. So where can we get an angle inside this triangle? We can get it at this point P. You can get an angle here. You can get the whole angle inside this triangle here. How? The angle here is 30 degrees, and from the north to the east here, the whole angle here should be 90. So we can find the remaining angle that is here from here to here. That will be 90 minus 30. That will give us 60 degrees. Also, from here also, the whole angle here is to here is 300 degrees. And we know that the angle from the north to the west here is 270. That means we can find the leftover of the angle that is here. We can find the angle that is here. So that will be 300 minus 270, and that will give us 30 degrees. And this 30 degrees will be alternate to this angle that is here. So the angle here, 30 degrees here, will be alternate to the angle that is here, which should be 30 degrees as well. So that means the whole angle inside the triangle here will be 90 degrees. It will be 90 degrees, which is a right angle. So that makes this triangle a right angle triangle. So that made this triangle a right angle triangle. So from there, we can now use that to find this side here using Pythagoras theorem. Because it's a right angle triangle now, so we have saved to use Pythagoras theorem. So that means side QR square equals to 5 square plus 8 square. That will be 25 plus 64. That will be 89. Then to find QR, that will be square root of 89. And that should be 9.4339 centimeters. But to take it to 3 significant, that will be 9.43 centimeter to 3 significance. Then from there, having gotten the side QR, you have to find the bearing of R from Q, the bearing of R from Q, bearing of R, this R, point R from this point Q here. So we are looking for the bearing of R from Q. That should be the angle from the north to the line that joined them together, which should be the angle from here to here. So that's the bearing of R from this point Q. Now, how can we find the angle? That's the next thing to know. How can we find this angle here? Now, what can we do? We can get this small angle that is here. Or before we go ahead, now you know that we are looking for this angle, which is the bearing of R from Q. But what we need to know is that if you can find the angle that is here, this angle here, and if you can remove this angle from 180, because from the north to the south is 180, so you can remove this angle here from the whole angle 180, that will give us the bearing of R from Q, which is the angle here. But how can we get this angle here? That's the next thing we need to do. How can we get this angle here? We can get it by getting the other angle here. We can get this angle. So if we can get this angle, then we can now find the whole angle inside this triangle here. You can find the whole angle there. So if you can find the whole angle inside the triangle, then remove this angle here from the whole angle inside the triangle, then that will give us the left angle here. And if you can find that angle, then you can now find the bearing you are looking for. So let's start now. How do we find the angle that is here? That should be 30 degrees. The angle here, angle 30 degrees is alternate to this angle here. So that means the angle here will be 30 degrees. Then let's try to find the whole angle inside the triangle here, which is the one here. So we can call it theta. So if you find that angle theta, we can use a trigonometric ratio. Since we are having a right angle triangle, we can use trigonometric ratio to do that. So using trigonometric ratio, I can use opposite over adjacent, which will be tan. Tan theta will be 8/5, which should be 1.6. Theta will be tan inverse of 1.6, and that should give us a 57.99 degrees. So from there, the whole angle here is 57.99 degrees. Our aim is to find the small angle here, which we can this angle here, you can find the whole angle here, which you can represent with alpha. So if you can find the whole angle, the small angle here, which is alpha, so alpha will be the whole angle here, which is theta minus 30 degrees. So alpha will be theta minus 30. So that should be 57.99 minus 30, and that should give us 27.99 degrees. So the whole small angle here is 27.99 degrees, and our aim is to find the whole angle here, which is the bearing of R from Q. So how do we intend to get that? That should be 180 degrees minus angle alpha. So that will be 180. The bearing of R from Q will be 180 minus 27.99. That should give us 152.01. And that should give us a 152 to 3 significant figures. So that's the solution to that question on bearing. And if you want to know more also on bearing, you can check the playlist of my video, and where I made a video on bearing and distance, and I'm sure that that video will enlighten you more on bearing and distance. So that will be all for the solution for the question that we have been solving. We have been solved both objective and the theory part of the question, and you can see that it's a wonderful question given to them in that year. And I want to believe that you understand and you have gained 1 or 2 things from this video. And but before we go, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please click on the subscribe button on the channel right now, and so that you'll be informed whenever we post information on this channel. Don't forget to share this video with your loved ones and the students in schools who are desperately in need of this resource material, but they are not yet aware of our channel. And also like and share this video, and comment in the comment section of this video to know your stand concerning the video. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.